In this video, we'll be looking at 30, 60, 90 triangles. In a 30, 60, 90 triangle, the side opposite the 30-degree angle is always half of the hypotenuse, and the side opposite the 60-degree angle is always half the hypotenuse times the square root of 3. So our relationship for a 30, 60, 90 triangle is basically, if the hypotenuse is 2, the side opposite the 30 will be half of that, so 1. The side opposite the 60 will be 1 times the square root of 3. Now let's look at a few triangles before we do some trig. Let's say this is my 30 and this is my 60. And I'm given that my hypotenuse is 10. And I'm asked to find the other two sides. Well, the side opposite the 30 is always half the hypotenuse. And the side opposite the 60 is always half the hypotenuse times the square root of 3. Try another one. Let's say I'm given that the side opposite the 30 is 4. Well, the side opposite the 30 is always half the hypotenuse, so that means our hypotenuse has to be 8. And then the side opposite the 60 is half the hypotenuse times the square root of 3, so we will have 4 square root of 3 on this side. Say this is my 60. And let's say my side opposite my 60 is 7. Now, on all of these problems, I had the square root of 3 visible on my side opposite my 60, but it doesn't have to be. All we have to remember is that the relationship between these two signs is, if I know the side opposite the 30, then I multiply it by the square root of 3 to get the side opposite the 60. So if I know the side opposite the 60, I divide that by the square root of 3 to get the side opposite the 30. So that means this needs to be 7 divided by square root of 3. Now if we rationalize this, multiplying top and bottom by root 3, I can see that this side opposite the 30 is 7 root 3 over 3. Now to get the hypotenuse, I know the side opposite the 30 is half the hypotenuse, so I just need to double this number to get my hypotenuse. So multiplying this number by 2, I get 14 square root of 3 over 3. Now let's use these relationships to do a little trig. If I asked you to evaluate the tangent of 30 degrees. Now we can do this without a calculator. We know that with a 30, 60, 90 triangle, my relationship between the sides is this. So my tangent, since it's opposite over adjacent, my tangent of 30 degrees is going to be opposite over adjacent, or root 3 over 3. Do another one. Evaluate 4 root 3 times the cosine of 60. So for my 30, 60, 90 triangle, again I just write in those. Hypotenuse is 2, side opposite the 30 is 1, side opposite the 60 is 1 root 3. Then once I have those values, those basic ratios down on my paper, then I can just use that. This is 4 root 3 times the cosine of 60. Cosine is defined as adjacent over hypotenuse. Well, here's my 60 degree angle. So my adjacent side is the 1, and my hypotenuse is 2. So cosine of 60 is 1/2. Now if we take half of 4 root 3, we get 2 root 3.